Wolfman, Face of the Wolf, Wolf Face, the virus movie that was supposed to star Ryan Gosling. By the way, it was supposed to be Ryan Gosling's Wolfman.
Oh, really?
Yeah, remember like before Ryan Gosling was supposed to be in this movie. It was
It
like he
wasn't
was
this
supposed to
movie
star.
though. It was something
Yeah,
else.
it was this movie. Technically, this movie.
No, no, no. Wasn't it
Uh,
supposed to be a memo movie?
no, it was supposed to be another director, and then
Memo's Frankenstein.
yeah.
Oh, there you go.
It was supposed to be this movie, this version, but then because the director dropped out, Ryan Gosling left. But I think Ryan Gosling's still an executive producer on this movie. And then at one point, The Rock was supposed to be the Wolfman, or they wanted The Rock to be the Wolfman. But we got we got Lee Winnell, and we got the guy from Craven. We got the guy from Craven the Hunter to be the Wolfman. Which is not really the okay. Well, we'll talk about. We'll talk about the Wolfman.
I mean, I got my issues with it.
So the movie starts off with it talks about a missing hiker that contracted some sort of virus, and it becomes a myth that it converts him into a thing that gives him a thing called the wolf face, or
that
face
everybody
wolf,
knows about, but
yeah, in Oregon
nobody's really
something
seen it or something.
Yeah,
Well,
it's a myth.
Local legend.
It's a myth, like the Bigfoot, right? Something like that.
But the female orgasm.
It's a myth.
It's one of those. This is a movie there that is very much like, oh, let's make the Wolfman no longer a curse that has to do with the full moon, gypsies, and let a wolf bite you, and then over the transcourse of time and have to wait for the moon to go, you're going to transform a man into a wolf. His beast, like his animalistic tendencies are going to come out. No, it's like all of a sudden now it's a virus. It's a virus that's going to take over fairly quickly, and that's kind of what happens in this movie. But on top of that, it's like, this is also
change should be easier to handle.
Yeah, but this is not even a gradual quick. This is a quick infection.
Yeah.
But on top of that,
whole movie takes part of the whole night.
In one night,
Oh,
yeah.
night.
But this is also a movie about not being about not trying not to be trying
to avoid the sins of the father.
Yeah, pretty much, right? That's kind of what it is. But in watching the movie, the dad wasn't even that bad of a dude. Like he didn't treat him bad. He was trying to protect him. He wasn't yelling at him. He didn't beat him. He didn't do any of that.
God, our mom beat us.
Right? The what's his name? Blake, the son Blake, he showed that he was having anger issues, but he also let his daughter and his wife walk all over him in the movie.
I mean, and even then, that wasn't that insane. I've seen worse.
Yeah,
he was
in movies and in real life. I've seen worse.
In what was that other movie with James McAvoy where the guy was a cuck?
What was that?
Speak No Evil?
Yeah,
Speak No Evil. Yeah, Speak No Evil. Like that one was worse, but in this one, it's like he was just very soft spoken. He was trying not to.
He was trying not to yeah.
He's just trying not to be angry. Just trying not to yell.
That's what it was.
He's just trying not to hulk out. He was just trying not to hulk out, which is dumb. Shut your mouth. Which is just like weird. Which is just weird in the movie because later in the movie, it's I get where they were what they were trying to do with the story. Like ultimately where he says is like, I'm trying to, like, the lines where he says, I'm trying to shield you, I'm trying to protect you, but in protecting you, I'm probably hurting you more.
Mm-hmm.
I get those lines, and I some of the lines I liked in the movie.
Yeah, you're right. There's some of those like the one-liners. You kind of like, man, those kind of hit a little bit.
I like some of the lines.
And the relationship with him and the daughter. Like, there's a lot of that. And the conversations they're having, yeah, you're right. There's these little lines, but you kind of do feel that it does feel real. Their relationship and how he is trying to protect her, and how much he loves her.
The relationship between the father and the daughter were.
Yeah.
They don't build the relationship between the mom and the daughter.
Well, like, but they explain it in the beginning because remember he's like, "Are you happy?" And I feel like we're a little bit apart. Let's take this trip.
Yeah, but by the end of it, I don't feel like it's the strength between the relationship between the mom and the daughter has been built. Like nothing in there was built where like let me try to save you or let me do
Mhm.
something like to like nothing was earned there at that point.
But she does. She tries to help him.
Yeah, but I think if they would have spent a little time just writing something in there, like a conversation or something, something
No,
was
no, no.
if they could have if
It
they
would
did,
have gone too long. I like
but
the
yeah, but
length of
that's
this
but that
movie.
Oh, you
but
know
I
what?
think yeah,
This
I
movie
think that
wasn't that
the
long.
movie
It was
being
good.
short is fine. I think that's what was fine about the movie, that it was short. But I think also that it borrows it borrows a lot from the 2010 Wolfman movie also.
Mm.
It borrows some aspects of it, like the action, like the fights between like the like again spoilers here, the fights between the two
I mean, like in Van Helsing.
wolfmen Wolfman. There's no fight between two Wolfmen in Van Helsing.
You sure?
There's the fight between a
Oh,
vampire,
Dracula.
Dracula,
Okay.
and a Wolfman.
I had to
The
think about it for a second there. I was like,
there's
oh,
but
never mind.
in the
Crikey.
Mhm.
Benicio del
Oh,
Toro,
Frog
there's
Night.
in the Benicio del Toro version, there's Wolf. There's a father
Daddy, the
and
Yeah,
son,
the
yeah.
and the
Hopkins
in,
and Del Toro.
Sir
right
Anthony
right.
Hopkins.
Listen
First
listen
of all,
to first yeah right.
dipshit Anthony Hopkins. I don't know.
Okay, so
I hear good things. I hear good things.
no, but no,
Stupid.
stupid. No, but look, it borrowed some stuff, some aspects of that, but it also kind of took away all the lore of Wolfman.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Like
it
there is
you
no
don't
more.
it kind of
you
twilighted this thing where like they try to redo what the Wolfman was by changing like the whole curse of the moon and yada yada
yeah.
to nothing.
Wherein like where Lee Winnell, where he did what he did with Invisible Man, what I
Who was
liked,
Lee
it's
Winnell?
still the
Oh, it's
director of the
him.
movie, Lee
Upgrade.
Winnell.
He did upgrade.
He did Upgrade. He wrote Saw. He wrote a lot of he wrote Insidious. He wrote a lot of like movies, and he directed Upgrade. He directed this one. He directed
He's the better half
the
of
Invisible
James
Man.
Wan.
Yeah, Lee Winnell. What he did with
You're
the
not
Invisible
spelling it right.
Man,
Or
what he did with the Invisible Man, he kept somewhat of the lore, right? It still felt like the Invisible Man. He was able to do that. Here, none of it felt Wolfman.
No.
It felt
It
it's
felt
an
like a zombie survival.
yes.
Yeah.
It felt that's what it felt like. It
no,
like
though. What I dug about this movie though, is it all took over one night, and it literally gave you both perspectives of the people talking to him and the way he
Oh
saw it.
yeah, yeah. I did like that. The
I love that
transitions.
switchback. Kind of cool.
I liked the
Why can't
sound
I understand
design.
you? Why can't you understand me?
Yeah.
I like the sound design. I liked the scene where he wakes up and he's hearing the like it sounds like somebody's upstairs.
That was your nightmare.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and it's a tarantula
And he
walking,
did
but
watch
it's
it in
like
IMAX too.
and I was like, oh,
Spider-Man.
I was like, dude, I was like, oh, something came into the house, and it's just his super hearing or his enhanced hearing.
I was waiting for that thing to fly at him.
Yeah, yeah. But it's just that sound design and the growling that you got. Like the sound design was really well done. But again, it
Mhm.
just my issue is that you take away the lore of the Wolfman. Like this original Wolfman was built in back in the day. It's full moon, you get bit, man becomes his innate animalistic character, right, and all that. He doesn't become essentially an infected zombie. It's you take away the full moon here in this point. There's no need of a full moon. Once it becomes this creature, he's the creature in the day as well, right?
Mhm.
He's no longer can become the human or this wolf creature or this
Now
creature in
he
general.
never fully turns. Like I mean, like his body doesn't fully turn because at the very end, spoiler, he uses a little bit of humanity to kind of like signal, like that. Hey, I love you guys. Finish me.
I mean, technically, he does have that transformation,
What
No,
about
but
but
but if he wouldn't have been such a puss, he could have actually killed them, and then in like 2 3 days, probably taken full form, and it would have been like, does that really look like Wolfman? But instead, this is a in
but
between. Like I'm almost there. Kill me,
but the
kill
other
me.
but the
Dad?
other the dad already had the full form. He didn't even look like a wolf man.
He didn't, but he also. I
He
mean, he
look
also
again,
still looked
and
bad.
you brought a good point. He looked like the melted dude from RoboCop.
I guess run over by a car.
Yeah, he looked exactly like that, just with some hair patched on him.
Yeah, all you need is Red Foreman showing up there with
You know what it looked like?
AR
You know
Bang
what?
Bang.
You know, like when you chew gum and you like throw it on the ground and it actually falls on some hair. That's what it looked like.
He looked like a burn victim with like hair still hanging on.
You remember Gak? Yeah, no.
It's
So
it's like that Nightmare on Elm Street Freddy that no one liked. Like that. It looked like all shiny skin, scar tissue, hair hanging out. Am I still pretty? No, you're not. It's just kind of,
Yeah,
no,
this
but
really wasn't a Wolfman movie. No.
yeah, I wasn't a
But
fan of the makeup of it.
but I mean, at least it was practical effects.
Yeah.
That I enjoyed, and it did feel kind of old school, like a little bit. Remember walking out. I watched it with somebody, and I remember walking out saying it reminded me of an old school horror movie,
Mm-hmm.
which was good. And even though it's not Wolfman, and it is a zombie movie, I enjoyed it. It was quick. At no point does it slow down. It's just constant beat for beat. It goes, and I
now
enjoyed it. I was not
now
bored.
now I hated the mom. Did anybody hate the mom? I hated the
Mm.
mom.
No,
There was
But
nothing in there for me to hate about her,
no.
like her character either. She didn't
No,
give me anything to hate about
no,
her.
in the beginning, I was like, she's annoying. I don't like her. I
Why?
don't like her.
Why?
It's just the I don't know. It's just I guess being married kind of go like, I hate this woman. I hate this woman. So
Then why did you get married?
because we're stupid, right? because we're gluttons for punishment. So but then when she starts trying to heal him up and wrap him up, and then she's grossed out by what's going on. It's like, okay, then she went
Okay,
from
that's pretty
being,
gross.
it's like, hey, you know what? I hear, love, honor, and cherish, sickness and health. That's gross. You need to die.
She's still
But
trying to take care of him. She's still trying to take care of him.
Parts of her was like, that's still him there, still him. I can still see it. I can see it. That's like the little bit of humanity is still coming out of him.
So how did you hate her?
He really never turned.
He didn't hate her.
How did you
Oh, no,
hate her?
I hit her in the beginning. I didn't hit her like at the end.
But she didn't. That's the thing. The Julia Garner did a fine job with what they gave her. They didn't give her. That's the one thing is they didn't give her a lot to do.
Which is
but
good.
she played terrified really well. The main guy. What's his name? Christopher Abbott, right? The guy who was really bad in Craven, by the way. I mean everyone except for what's his face. But he was in Craven. Right? He was the other weird bad guy. The other bad guy in Craven. He wasn't bad in this movie, right? This is a really small cast. It wasn't a bad movie, but if you take away the Wolfman aspect, call this movie Infected in a Cabin or call it something else.
Cabin in the Woods,
something like that, right? Cabin in the Woods, call it Cabin Fever, call it something, right? Call it something different. This is it's not a horrible movie. It's a short movie. It does what it's supposed to do. It gets you invested because of the relationship between the daughter and the dad and like the family relationship. It gets you invested in it. You feel bad for the dad. You feel bad for him because he didn't ask for all this to happen. All like that's the thing, and that's the one thing about the Wolfman and Frankenstein and all these is that they're supposed to be sympathetic characters because they didn't ask for this stuff to happen to them. It happens to them.
Now the beginning of the movie also harkens to the very end scene, which you kind of saw that coming.
Harkens.
I learned a new word.
Harkens. Don't hate me because I'm trying to use certain words. I'm trying to make fetch happen, son.
I'm eloquently speaking all of a sudden now because we clowned you on your Spanish last episode. Now you're trying to use big words in English.
That's the word of the day.
You hearken back to last episode that we clowned you.
I gave you a throwback, son.
No, but yeah, there are callbacks. I like the way they use the way the movie begins is where the movie ends. I like that callback to it. But again, the movie the I know there's a lot of people that are shitting on the movie. It's not the greatest movie, but it's not a horrible movie. But if you go in saying I'm going and I want to see a werewolf. I want to see a Wolfman.
I think
But if you go back,
that's the problem. It's the title.
yeah, and I think that's 100% the problem. But think last month. What did
Funny
we get
thing
last
happened to
month?
me
We
in
got
Oregon.
werewolves. We got werewolves last month. This
You
is
got
a
that-
step above
You,
werewolves,
you
right?
got that Giovanni Ribisi character. It was in the Perch with the gun. They give him a ride. Then he dies.
Yeah, the yeah. So again, you got a small cast, but on its own,
And everybody was good.
Yeah.
on its own, the movie
That guy was creepy.
Again, separate the Wolfman, like the Wolfman lore, separate all that. If you just watch it
Yeah.
as a movie in its own, it's a fine movie. It's not a bad movie. You
It's a
can enjoy
creature
it on its
survival
own.
movie.
Yeah,
The,
it's
pro-
just
the main problem is the fact that they call it the Wolfman.
Wolfman. Though it's
That's it.
called Wolfman, right? That's the problem.
That harkens back to what I just said.
You guys are
Arkin.
dicks.
But if you guys have seen the Wolfman, or if you guys have seen Wolfman, let us know in the comments below. Did you guys like it? What did you guys think about it? Don't forget to like and subscribe.
I won't.
On that note, this has been Vinny.
This is Ozzy.
Anna.
We'll see you guys next time.